Hey everyone, Egman here, and this is the, I guess, first episode of Deck Doctor Eggman. And so I got um, given this deck list here by an Ali Q, sorry. Yeah, here's the deck list. It's Android 1718 with the Cell engine, and I haven't actually like built a deck profile for this either, so I think this is perfect. So this is the deck he sent me, and I'm going to kind of try to build this. It's going to be ad lib on, I'm going to use an untap right now and build it. So I don't know how this will go, but let's start with it. So yeah, something that he told me was that let's see, what did Ali say? He had the free blockers for red, blue, flute, which I think is a really good idea for Krillin. I think that's kind of needed. He's been unsure about his ratio of androids, especially Chilling Terror. I might replace it with a TOP blocker 17 that restands. I think that's a good card too. Please let me know what you think and keep up the great videos. Oh, thank you. All right. So yeah, I think Destiny Krillin is really important. And I've got such a mixed feeling about Chilling Terror's Android 17. There are two things that are going against it right now. The biggest thing is that not all leaders draw cards when they awaken, so that's kind of rough. Especially since like Harudagon is pretty top tier right now. In general, I would say that if you have a potential for sideboarding, I would use this card. But I'm not sure about main decking if you know like a lot of SS3s going on. But the other thing is that you get this out on turn 2, and sometimes SS3 awakens on turn 1, so that can be kind of like you could open with this being yes, they won't be able to draw cards, and then they're already awakened by the time that you can play it. So even if he's just a 2-drop with the leader, so yeah, let's go into it. So in general, I really like this build. I think it's a good start. So let's do this. And this is kind of what I do for every time I build a deck. So let's get the Android 17 leader. And I really just add the cards that I think should go in there. So let's start with the easy ones. We got Cell. We've got not the French versions. Let's see. So we have Evil Absorbing Cell. We have Growing Evil Lifeform Cell and Perfect Cell. Boom. There we go. Four of each. You really want to get this out, right? So that is why we're running 4. What else? So they ran one Forcible Strike, one of these, and I'm not really sure why. I mean, you can get this through the 3-drop. It definitely is a cool card, I'd say. But it's Revenge without blocker, which is also kind of weird, right? So your opponent will like never attack this, which I guess is okay, but I guess you could eventually evolve this for 6, but I don't think that will happen. So I don't think this is needed. If you want to message me why you add that, let me know, but I'm not going to add that to this deck. We also got like this Cell through the Ultimate box, and I think it's not like the worst, but I think like this Cell is better 9 times out of 10. I'd think about siding this one if you are running into like decks that don't have a hand anyways. If this chain doesn't really do anything, if they have 4 cards, you discard them down to 3. I would think about maybe putting these on the side. I'll just put them here now. I might take them out later. What else? So we have the Cell chain. Let's talk about 1-drops, and actually let's do super combos as well. I'm just gonna do Android. So Stout-Hearted Android 16. Gonna put 4 of him in there, easy. I think he's really good. You don't get a draw card, but there's so much card draw kind of in Androids anyways. So that is okay. Next up, we'll add. All right. Actually, let me do this. So Gohan, it's the Newfound Power. I'm gonna put 4 of him. He was only running 3. I think it's really important. Oh, I'm gonna run the Krillin too. Just indeed. Okay. I think this if you want this card out as soon as possible. The weird thing about this leader is it isn't Android 18 until you awaken. So I think awakening with this leader is as soon as possible is really important. So that's why I want to bump this up from 3 to 4. I think that's important. Let's see. Let's all look at this together. I think so. So the other thing I do is I look at cards that are kind of tech cards, and so I'd say Keymaster is probably a bit of a tech card, and Chilling Android. Like I usually just put to the bare bones, right? So we're pretty much have all the important cards. Now we get to choose which Android 17s and 18s we want, and go from there. And then also there's Mira, right? And so this Mira, I'm gonna put him in the side pretty quick. So he gets to discard a card from your opponent's hand when you play him, but there's also a Toa, the new promo. So they both get discard one card from your opponent's hand. This one is not an Android, and Mira is. So that's the difference between the two of them. So he can be searched out through Android stuff, and like Jiro and I guess Jiro. But yeah, I'd say that's pretty important. And it's I guess the other thing to think about is what's the play style of this? Is this aggressive and then finishes strong with Cell, or you play defensively with Cell and you just try to survive to 3 energy, drop Cell, drop all their cards, and then just win by not dying, right? I'm going to opt to say this deck is going to win by not dying. If you want to be more aggressive, I think there are options for that. But let's think about our Android 17s. So we're gonna put him in the side. We'll see about Overwhelm. Overwhelm should never be like. It should always be kind of a spice you add to your deck, right? So I won't add these until the end to see how much room we have for him. I think this card's super good especially because he only comes out for 3. So he's blocker barrier, and then you can choose one of your opponent's battle cards and KO it. That seems really strong to me. Also, this Android 17, I'm going to go defensive, so I'm not going to run the other one. So I'm going to say 3 of each. That might be. We'll see if that is too many or too little. Usually, from what I'm seeing, usually 6 androids are enough. He's running 5 and 7, so I mean that's 12 android spots. So let's go to Android 18. Unfortunately, Android 18 doesn't have as much versatility as her brother. So I'm thinking we just want to run 3 of each. Yeah. And this is just simply for getting our cell chain off. You could probably go down to 5 like he did, because he ran 3 and 5. But and like this effect can actually be really good because you can play this and then you can play this blocker barrier that blows up something for free for 1 energy, for 1 energy, not for free. So that is good. We have 36 cards in our deck right now, so let's go down to 14. We need 14 more. Let's see. So we haven't added any Jiros. I'd say let's add 4 of those ones. And we don't have any blockers either. So for right now, let's just say 4 of these. Or we have blockers, we don't have any negates. And so I'm going to put full power energy. We can. So there's a bit of a debate for these two, and maybe if you have sideboard options, you'd run this, because you can destroy something 3 or more, but you have to discard a card compared to always being able to destroy a 1-drop for free. That's 48. So let's put these down to 3 and 3 for right now, and let's keep tinkering with the numbers. if we do that, we can have Dr. Gero. So the only other card I'd want to play in this deck is the 2-drop. And the reason is that this can help you find, one, it can find a super combo, which is always handy. And it can also find, what is it? If you're missing any of your cell parts, any of your cell part chains, it can help fix that. So it helps the consistency of the deck, so I like that. I'm gonna, let's see. Let's see. I would say, so now we got to decide what our ratios are for these guys, and then also our overwhelm. So originally he was running 3. I think that's a pretty good number. If we're playing this Android 20, we should probably play Mira, because worst case it always gets Mira, right? You can always play Mira for free. But will you be doing that for turn 2? Turn 2, you'd probably be running to play either Android 17 or 18, and then you can get a free Krillin off. And so we can also drop down from our negates, because if we're playing this on turn 2, we don't have energy for a negate. I'm going to drop these down to 2 of each, and then, you know, I'm just going to be lazy. I'm going to put 2 of him, 2 Toa, and 2 Mira. Let's see, and that's 50 cards. All right, let me fix the. Let me change it on here, and we'll talk about it. And boom, we're back. All right, so here's what the deck looks like now. And so it has two 1-drops you can play on turn 1, and we have 8 of those. Additionally, we have so we picked 2 Android 18, so a total of 6 of her, and also Android 17. Low-key Android 17 is the better cards. So if you want, especially because he's the first part of the chain. So if you feel like you need more of these, you can do that. Especially just because I think these are really powerful right now. And so I guess let me talk about the wiggle room cards. So wiggle room cards for right now still are this Android 20. He really helps consistency, but if you just like, oh, I always just need more Android 17, then you can just switch him for that. I'd say that the negates are pretty questionable on ratios, especially because it just depends on what you like, right? I'd say in the sideboard I'd run, I'd put 2 and 2 of more each. So if you're like, oh, full power energy is always better, I'll play that. Or speedy surprise attack is always better because they don't really attack with 1-drops. I would do that. Mira and Toa, I'd say, are in the same boat. Since also Toa's just got released as a promo, she might be a bit harder to find. So if you can't find her, just put Miras in. I'd also say like just picking one of these and going to 3 is a good choice. So you can probably get one of these out if you need some wiggle room. And I think that goes over it. Let me know. Yeah, I think that's it. So for the sideboard, I would think I put this there. I've tried decks with her, and I'm not as impressed with it. I mean, it does give you something to do with one energy, but especially since this is a draw 2 and not an untap 2 leader, I'm not as big of a fan of it. Then there is Cell. You can put this in here if you don't think that the Cell chain will do much, and drawing 2 cards and playing 2 tokens is better. And then also, I'd definitely put this card in here. If you're running against you can just switch him out for Android 20. If you're playing against a deck that is just consistently not drawing, like if you're getting against a slower deck, you can just take out like this Energy Guard, Android 17, just put him in, mole as hard as you can to get it, and then it's really powerful. And I think that is it. So let me know what you guys think about this deck. I think it's pretty similar. It's probably like 70% the same cards, but ratios are moved around. Game plan: get one of these two out turn one. Try to awaken with Sun Gohan as fast as possible, just so you can get the Android 18 tag. The fact that you can draw when you attack when you're awakened at 6 is really powerful, and you can play this for free. And then after that, I'd say either try to get Sellout turn 3 and evolve away. People aren't running Cold Bloodlust right now because they're not, Frieza leaders. And then do that. And I guess Android 17 is just for tech stuff, especially this. I really like this one. I think this one's really cool. Super combo, and then Overwhelm just to help. Like the fact that when you drop them down to 3, dropping one card of their hand from either the Overwhelm or Android 16 is just really powerful. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. Ali, thank you especially Ali, let me know what you think of this deck. Thank you so much for sending the deck in. If any of you guys have a deck you want me to tinker with, please send me in. I'll have a email address in the bottom. I won't guarantee that I will review it, but I'll email you as soon as I'm interested in it. So thank you guys so much, and I'll catch you guys next time.